And we are live. We are officially live. Welcome, Nathaniel, to the Savvy Entrepreneur Spotlight.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, everyone will start hopping in and joining us soon. As you know, the action is on the replay. So, it's a nice sunny Friday. So, we'll get some people that'll hop on with us. And some people we probably won't catch until the replay.
The replays come in handy for people like me.
Exactly. That's right. You are a replayer usually 90% of the time.
Yeah, because
Awesome.
I just never know where I'm at when 1 o'clock strikes.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's so funny because you work hard to try to find great.
I think it was like the code. Um,
Oh, the co-working day.
yeah, and right when I had went outside to go get in my car, that's when service just was like
Oh
interrupted, and
yeah.
I couldn't get back on.
That's right. That's right. Oh, see that? Awesome. So, how did you enjoy the co-working day?
Um, had I been on there a little bit longer, I'm pretty sure it would have been good. But I definitely will make sure to catch the next one and be in the
Awesome.
house stable.
Right. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started in a moment. So tell us a little bit about like your experience with Savvy Entrepreneur, what made you join this community, and um, how it's what's the reason why you show up today? Why did you show up today?
Um, it's always good to kind of surround yourself around people who share kind of like the same vision or who may be more experienced in some things that others may not. And so for me, it was more of like a networking opportunity.
Awesome. That's a good reason.
And I think it's a lot of groups out on Facebook, all these different variety of groups that pretty much do the same thing. But it was more so of how the interaction was with Savvy Entrepreneur that really made me more, I guess, active versus non-active.
Awesome. And we appreciate it because I think that's okay. The reality is, the more active you are in the community, the more benefit you get out of it, right?
Hmm.
Awesome. So we have some people joining us. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jamila. Let me see if I can see who else is on. Sometimes this thing you can see who's on and sometimes you can't. It's Navari. Hi, Navari. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, hello.
Awesome. Hi, DT. Dwight is watching as well. That's my hubby. Hey, boo.
You want to make sure it was
You know what
no
I'm saying?
foo business.
No, what? What's going on around there? Awesome. So let's just dive right in. Nathaniel, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Um, well, I like long walks on the beach. Um,
Okay.
uh,
Jump, dive right in
no, um, I just describe myself as a very different and unique individual. I don't march to the beat of everyone. I kind of march to my own. Um, I just like to be different and have fun. I like to be of help, assist those that I can, and try to be an advocate for those who may not necessarily have someone in their corner. Um, I guess when I'm doing entrepreneurial work, it's something that I believe that was instilled in me at an early age. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur from childhood. People would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And everybody would say, oh, police officer, firefighter, doctor, lawyer, teacher. But I knew instantly I wanted to be a business owner. I didn't know what business, but I've grown to pretty much want to have my own empire, which is going to have a lot of businesses that cater to the needs of everyday people. So
Awesome.
it's literally going to be something for everyone. That's the vision, the end vision.
Awesome. So we know that when you build an empire, you have to start from somewhere. So tell us about your first venture.
Um, first venture, not a legal business, but the first
Uh-oh.
business was actually between the age of 6 and 7.
Okay.
My mom used to do floral arrangements, and she would make them
Mm.
and sell them to her coworkers, friends, and family members. And so I wanted something to do. So she bought these little sand bottles, the little decorative things.
Oh.
And I didn't really think too much into it, but for the most part, I decorated them and took them to the daycare with me one day. And my mom picked me up and asked, what's all this jingling in your pocket? Because it was heavy change. And when I pulled it out, she saw like the bills and the change, and she went into the babysitter and asked, like, where did this money come from? And she basically said that Nathaniel sold it. He sold it to the parents of the
All
other kids, and
right.
he set the price up and everything. So at that point, you kind of know what it is that you want to do. Um, I call myself like a jack of all trades, but a master of none, because I just like to kind of have a knowledge or know of almost whatever I can pretty much find out. But I knew that I was creative. I knew that I wanted to give people something that would give them value. I'm a heavy spender. So I like
Okay.
I like to spend money, but if I can find a really really good deal, and one thing that they teach you in retail is that when customers are looking for something, if you don't have that exact item, find a substitute that gives them the exact same benefit, does the exact same thing. It just may be at a different price. And
Okay.
so that's what I look for. If it does the exact same thing, then why pay all this top dollar, when I can get the same result with something else that it may potentially even be better. Um, so from there, it was just more so of just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, how to go about doing it. Um, and it wasn't until 2000, towards the end of 2016, where everything started to kind of come together.
Awesome. And so, what is everything? Tell us about your current business.
So right now I have 24 Karat Body and Bath Essentials, which is a all natural handmade bath and body products, basically. Um, it initially started off with just making bath bombs. I think I was in an arts and crafts store out in Bowie, and I saw the little bath bomb kit, and I had just previously seen like everybody going crazy on social media about these Lush bath bombs, and
Mhm.
I'm sitting here like, what is like all this buzz about? And so I looked into it. I saw Lush's bath bombs was like $12, and so I was like, oh, people going crazy for that. Like, okay. So when I saw the kit, I was like, okay, oh, I can make my own. So I looked at it, and the kit was like 22, 24 some odd dollars, and I'm like, you only can make a certain amount, and this is what you get. I'm pretty sure if I found the ingredients myself and kind of did it on my own, I'd probably come out a lot cheaper and maybe get more. And that's exactly what happened. So I figured, that would be a really good thing to actually provide an all natural product that
Okay.
is locally made. It's inexpensive and it can be self funded. That was the biggest concern for me. Definitely wasn't trying to apply for a loan, have any, unnecessary frustrations with that process. And so seeing that I could invest my own money into it, um, it can kind of, produce revenue on its own, basically, once everything got up and running. So it wasn't until officially January 1st to be exact, when I began to plant the seed and kind of build up some anticipation. I literally told nobody what was going to happen. I just did like, just random post on social media. So on the first, I dropped my actual parent company, which is Night Enterprise. I dropped that logo. And then a couple weeks later, I dropped some more teasers. And then officially on February the 3rd, I think it was, is when I posted on social media just the logo. Um, and that's when people were kind of like, what's going on? And so I began to introduce the bath bombs by themselves, just one day, one scent, the next day, the next scent. And it was fun. It was creative. But I knew that if this is something that I'm going to provide to people, that it has to meet my standards of quality. So I had to make sure that everything is and decent and in order. And so once I mastered the bath bombs, it went from bath bombs to body scrubs, and then it just progressed from there to where I have enough products that I can barely keep up with now.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's great you're building out your product line. So tell us a little bit about, so for the most part, everyone, Nathaniel is a budding entrepreneur and he is dabbling in e-commerce, online commerce. So he has an online shop. What's your URL?
24 Karat, and that's with a K, BBE. So B is in body, B is in bad, essential.com. So 24 Karat, BBE.com.
Okay, and what he has on his shop. So, online retail or e-commerce is a huge industry these days. A lot of people are selling stuff online, and they're either making it themselves. Etsy. That's how Etsy came about. It's huge. Amazon is another tool that people are using to sell, and then those that are really brave build their own platform. And our friend here, our savvy entrepreneur Nathaniel, is telling us about his journey in this type of enterprise. So, Nathaniel, tell us a little bit about how you source the products, how you find them. Um, how do you keep your prices low?
Um, it's all strategy. I had my mentor in college taught me to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, and to be a keen observer, but to be a strategic planner. She was very influential in a lot of business knowledge, as well as just everyday information that would be beneficial. And so for me, I always like to find the best route to where I can save money versus spending it if I don't have to. So for sort of like finding the products, it's more so of just researching and seeing what each product is. For the most part, when it comes to like natural bath products, believe it or not, we all have something in our household that is beneficial for our health.
Okay.
It's just a matter of having the knowledge for it. And so pretty much the stuff that I've found, you could find at your local everyday, Walmart, grocery store, Sam's Club type. However, Walmart is a lot better because the prices are generally lower.
Okay.
Unless at that point, depending on what it is that I'm looking for, I can find it online.
Okay.
At that point, if I can find it online cheaper, then that's the route that I'm going to go, especially if I can get bang for my buck as far as, like more for, what I'm going to pay in the regular retail store.
Awesome.
So just kind of looking around and seeing, and then, just some of it, a lot of it, especially as an entrepreneur, is risk. So it's just trial and error.
Awesome. So Walmart's one of your biggest retailers. That's probably how they're like one of the biggest retailers in the world. What about Amazon? Do you use Amazon to get any of your products?
Amazon should cut me a check.
I know that's
Amazon should cut me a check. I have never seen. I never thought I would be one of those individuals that do a lot of online, shopping. However, once starting the business, you realize that there's a lot of things that are needed that you just can't find in the stores. And so Amazon did become like, I think, beginning when I looked at my transaction history, is pretty much, yeah, I see where most of my money goes.
awesome. So we have a couple of questions coming in. So let's see from Jamila. Jamila says, Nathaniel, do your products cater to men as well as women? Great question.
That is a great question. They do. One thing that I struggle with sometimes is I overanalyze because I like to view things from different perspectives, and I don't like for anybody to feel excluded. And so the best way to do that is to really give something that is unisex, that everybody can use. It doesn't, it's not specifically geared towards one particular demographic area, or it doesn't pertain to just one particular group of individuals. I want everybody that is able to partake in it to be able to experience it. So it goes towards everybody. Some scents are a little bit more on the I guess, more sweet, fruity, fluorescent, and then some are a little bit more lighter, some are just a little bit more mild. But then also, for me, I take into consideration it depends on your body. What may smell good on one person may not give you that same, scent on the next person. So you have to kind of figure it out, what works best for you, what you like. I did ask a lot of people when I started this, like, what do you think, like, guys, like, what do guys like? I know what I like, but, people are different. So I want to know opinions. And a lot of people were just saying, oh, for real, man, they'll use their girlfriend stuff, or the girlfriends would say, oh yeah, they use my, so I was just like, oh, okay, well, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I am in the process of specifically getting ready to introduce some new fragrances that will be a little bit more masculine.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about, I think there's some feedback. Is your speaker on?
It should be.
Yeah, I think I can hear myself. Okay, cool. So tell us a little bit about your biggest success as an entrepreneur so far.
Um, I would probably say getting started.
Ah,
Getting started, I would say, was my biggest success.
awesome. And how did you overcome? So getting started was a great success. What was your biggest challenge?
Getting started.
Exactly. That's why I kind of went with. I was like, okay, so how did you overcome that? Because that is a
It,
success and a challenge.
yes, it's a very strenuous process, because for me, I've had experience in a couple of different work industries. So I've had experience with retail, sales, customer service, management, marketing. So I utilize all of the things that I was able to learn in those jobs and apply them to whatever is current. And a lot of it is just like, I did well in this area, but how will I do on this area? Starting off, it's not going to just take off overnight. I mean, if it did, that would be awesome. But we live in a real world, and I have to be realistic and upfront, and mentally prepare myself. And so, after a while, you get tired of using your gifts and your talents to help other people make the big bucks, while those that are doing the real work, don't really get to reap the benefits of it. And my mentor always said, you're never going to get paid what you're worth. So
Ever.
I felt like at this point, now would be the time to basically stop making other people money and make myself some money. That, as well as I don't do too well with management. So
Oh no.
being your own boss is, I don't have to answer to no one. I like that feeling.
Very, very true. Um, so now that you're into this whole entrepreneur game, can you let us know? And you've seen some of the challenges of sourcing products, pricing products, working hard to get customers, because that's probably one of the biggest challenges for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll stay in this game?
Um, it's not a matter of, do I think I know I am.
Awesome.
Um, I'm an only child on my mom's side, and so essentially, I'm used to getting what I want. And so I don't take no for an answer, when it comes to anything that I believe is going to be, beneficial, not just for myself, but may even be beneficial for others. So I like challenges, because I always exceed those challenges, no matter, whether it's a long period of time or a short period of time. So I'm going to be in this for quite some time. Like I said, I'm building an empire, and you can't build an
Awesome.
empire without pushing through.
Awesome. So if there was one lesson that you could share with new entrepreneurs in this game, what would it be?
Um, uh, it's a couple of different things that I can think of, but I would have to really go back to a quote that my mentor had always taught me, which was, to not focus on the end result. The end result will be there. Focus on the process, because it's by the process in which you learn. And when you really take the time, I know for me, when I took the time to break it down and really understand it, it's just like in everyday life. We go through struggles, and sometimes it seems like what we're dealing with happened, you know, this time around last year or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times it's because there's a lesson that you didn't quite get. It's a test. When you take the test and you fail, you got to do a retest. And so you're not going to be able to progress until you got what you needed to learn. And I found that in that process, a lot of what you deal with in those situations actually help you in future situations. And can sometimes even elevate you past where you thought you wanted to be. So I would just say, focus really on the process, the journey, learn from it, enjoy it, because in itself, how your experience is going to be totally different from my experience. That
Awesome.
and be optimistic.
Right, that's half of it, right? Stay positive, keep and push through. I love, so Jamila quoted you. You said you can't build an empire without pushing through. That's a tweetable. You should,
Wait a minute, hold on. It's in the quotes.
Yes, yes. And that'll definitely be and it's in the comments as well. So, I mean, I think that this has been a great opportunity for you to definitely join us as a savvy entrepreneur and as a new entrepreneur and as a visionary. We really appreciate it. I I think we as a community are really, really excited to watch your journey as you continue to grow and build. That's one of the best things about our community. We talk about Navari all the time, and, we refer to him as the golden child.
I kind of feel like he was like the if this were school, this would be like the teacher's favorite that I just kind of have to just like.
But let me tell you why we call him a golden child. It's because, like you, he's very transparent about his journey. And when he started with us in January or like late December, he had just left the day job. And he was like, I just left my day job. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but I'm going to do it. He had been freelancing here and there. So it wasn't like just a blind jump. So I think that's why it's important for us to have opportunities like this. Like, yeah, we'll talk to entrepreneurs who've been in business for 10, 15 years, but it's important for us to also talk to us that are at the beginning of our journey or the middle of our journey or different parts, because everyone can learn from that.
It's very true. And someone actually asked me a few weeks ago why I didn't have any information about myself on the website, and I shared with them that for me it's really trying to figure out what it is that I want to be told, because I know me, there's a lot of factors that go into certain things, and we don't always give all of those. But similar to Navar, for me, very similar, except I didn't leave. I was let go. So at that point, and because of some of the gifts and talents and things that I have, I had already foresaw this months in advance. The only difference is that they got me before I could get them. But that at that point, when you have to make a decision and go back and forth like I did, as far as do I want to start and do my own thing, or continue to work for someone else and try to do this on the side, I couldn't really make the decision. So the decision was made for me, and that's at that point, it's just like, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. And it's going to keep popping up, right? So like I've shared, many times that I have yo-yoed in and out of W-2 positions for a lifetime. And it's because, and I mean in long W-2 positions, like a 10-year W-2 position or a 5-year W-2 position, all while still building the empire, because at the end of the day, that craving, that yearning, that fire is still going to be there, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're an entrepreneur, it's just something that is just there. You know, like when you tell the story of, you know, building and selling stuff as a 6, 7 year old, that's how it began.
It's been a passion of mine. Literally, like I could talk about the beginning, middle, and to where we are now. And when I think back of how long I've been saying I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own business. My sister and I, we were working for the government at the same time, trying to put together our own little business. You know, designing clothes and selling
Mhm.
that. Like that stuff got put on the back burner. So how many times am I going to keep here saying I'm going to start my own business? And you know,
Yeah.
it's like stop saying it. Stop saying you're going to do it. Just go ahead and do it. And so
All
that's what I
right.
did.
Don't talk about it, be about it. Awesome. So, as a member of our community and a budding entrepreneur, what are some things that this community could support you with as you grow your business?
Um, Not specifically for the community, but I think just something that would be beneficial for everyone to kind of understand. I'm an analytical person, so again, I look at things in different lights. Um, but I think if people support doesn't necessarily have to be in the monetary or financial form. And that's what kind of deters a lot of people from supporting. Um, Support can come in the form of sharing a post, informing others, hey, I know that you like bath products, or have you checked out this person, or have you heard about them, give them a try. There's different ways of supporting, even through encouragement. That's a form of supporting. I think that if people are sincere and genuine in their efforts to not necessarily try to find a way to gain something for doing something. Um, Personally, I think the world will be a better place. But you'll feel really good, and then of course, when you give, it comes back to you. So, if you help someone out by referring, and you're going through that same process, and you notice that nobody is, helping you, at some point is, whatever you've put out before is going to come back to you. Um, and so that's something that I'm definitely like a strong advocate for. Um, don't be selfish. Don't be a harborer of something that could benefit somebody else. It's I don't know. I'm passionate about what I do, and so it's a struggle as an entrepreneur to try to get advice, feedback from those that are successful and don't want to share it because of their struggles of having to get to where they're at. That's selfish. So I just believe that if I see someone that's an entrepreneur starting out, and I've done this before, hey, what's your marketing technique? I know you don't know me or anything, but here's something that may help you. It may be beneficial. This is how I did it. It may not be the same. You can tweak it to how it works for you, but that's still me giving someone support, some encouragement that can help them later on. That it's the little things that make a difference. And if people just stop trying to find a way to how they can benefit and gain off of it, or afraid that someone is going to do better than them, it's better to go far with what's the I think it's an African proverb. It's if you want to go fast, go alone. But if
You
you want
want
to
to go
go far,
far?
go together.
Yep.
Um, we have to look out and support one another. I can't financially always support everybody, but I can give them wisdom. I can give them advice. I can give them encouragement. There's different ways to help people, and it's not always money. I mean, but that's nice. That's the nature of the business. But I mean, a little can go a long way.
Absolutely. And that's huge. So, what are some ways that you are available to the community to provide guidance and help and support as well?
Um, it varies. I'm a very private person, and so at times I can come off as nonchalant, or I guess as me and my former managers say, I have resting. I have a
Be face.
resting bee face, just all day, every day. And so I may look like I'm not approachable, but it depends on what it is that they're looking for. Um, I can I give advice, encouragement. I can talk about my struggles. Um, Part of, I guess, the spiritual side of me is more of like a preacher. And so I can kind of sense and feel and get an understanding of where people are, almost like I can be empathetic and sympathetic at the same time and understand what the challenges are. So I can give feedback in that aspect. I can give feedback in the aspects of, how to sell to a customer, how to break that barrier down of approaching a customer, how to do public speaking. Like, it's if it's something that I don't know, I'll let them know up front. Hey, I don't know, but if you give me a few moments, or give me some time, I can look into it and let you know. I'm going to do what I can to help. Point blank, period. That's just me. Unless it's just like something that I know I'm not able to do, or something that doesn't sit right with me comfortably. That's the only thing.
Awesome. Thank you, Nathaniel, so much. We truly appreciate you taking time to hang out with us today.
Thank you for having
Um,
me.
Absolutely, absolutely. We look forward to you continue to again share your story with us and be a part of our community and
Absolutely.
watching your journey as an entrepreneur.
It's a struggle, but it's a fun one. I do want to say that next Saturday on the 23rd, I'll actually be out in Largo for Lake Arbor Day. So I will be there with some very unique products.
Awesome. And he shared a little bit of those with us on our co-working day. Yep. So we have co-working days. They're virtual. They're via Zoom every Tuesday at 1 p.m. hosted by our very own Jamila Jennings. We also have some exciting stuff coming up today. We are reopening enrollment for the Convert to Customers workshop. So look out for that in your inboxes and in the groups and all over social because you know how we do around here. And then, yeah, make sure you support all the other savvy entrepreneurs. Um, Everyone posts stuff in the private workshop, private group about the different things that they have going on. Come to the monthly accountability workshops, guys. I mean, it's really an opportunity, one, to network, two, to be accountable and grow your business, and then also make sure you go and check out 24caratbbe.com so you can see what our very own budding savvy entrepreneur Nathaniel's up to. He has some great
Cre-
products.
Create your own
Yeah,
luxurious and refined spa.
exactly. Create your own luxurious
I,
spa.
I should do. I, coming. I have wonderful products available
Yay,
on
look
sale
at
now.
that. No, show
No,
again. Show your product. Show it
oh,
again.
well, this is my sample one that I use, but this is the
Okay.
actual one of the body butters that I have made is kind of gone, but shows. But
Awesome.
yeah, it's a lot of great products. I'm happy to release today the 3 butter handmade soap bars that I just know everyone is going to enjoy. So there's a lot in store. There's a lot in store, and they'll be available Saturday at the next Saturday at the event.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much, Nathaniel. We'll see you soon in the
Absolutely.
community.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys. Happy Friday.